You to confirm this. Mr. George Barber had a warehouse full of motorcycles, and they used to the Barber ice cream and milk in these little old-timey trucks, and he had a whole team of mechanics keeping these old milk trucks running. And then they changed the milk trucks, and all these mechanics were out of work, and so he put them to work working on the motorcycles. Is that a true story?
Well, in context it is. All those mechanics wound up being two mechanics, and yes, it was the old truck rebuild shop, but that's kind of where he hid the motorcycles for his collection. But it's a good evolution. I can't tell you one thing, though. The ice cream truck did run every week, and it cost me 30 pounds eating ice cream sandwiches.
Well, it's a happy year today, and I want to talk about these two riders. One, an incredible mechanic, Chuck Honeycutt. He is a true wizard. And Stephen Matthews, he rode those bikes so well.
Yeah, Steve Matthews was 1990 pro Karachi, and we hired him to race a 1950 G50 matchless that had a single cylinder, probably 52 horsepower, drum brakes, and he said it had no brakes. And we brought him to Daytona and put him on that bike for the first time. Amazing, because his riding style was modern bike. He'd hang off the bike, drag his knee and everything. It was just amazing to watch him run the machine. And it was a lot of fun. And on now to run furniture after his parents passed away. We stay in touch with him. And Chuck Honeycutt still works for the museum. You know, we brought him on board as a mechanic. He said he used to ride, so we gave him a chance, and he did quite well with 350 GP down here as well.
One, encourage everyone to make your way to Birmingham, Alabama, and check out this incredible museum. It's 4 floors of the actual finest of motorcycles, cars. The Lotus collection is unbelievable. You know, that Lotus collection is just a day trip in itself.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. It's one of the largest collections known to exist. And again, that's Mr. Barber. If he's going to do it, he does it right. So with the motorcycles, over 1,700 in the collection, and about 130 Lotus cars and other cars as well.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff Hall, for being. Every time I talk to somebody who's a motorcycle enthusiast, I say, hey, here's where you got to go. Pack a lunch. You guys ought to have a lunch stand out front. Can you get a taco stand for taking a break? Sensory overload. You do more than one floor in that place and you're ready for a nap. It's a great place to be, and we really congratulate you and all the people at Barber, and thank you so much to Mr. George Barber.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate everyone. Come up and see us. Vintage Festival, October.
All right, Jeff Ray, Vintage Festival. It is one incredible festival. You got to be there. Okay, now I think we have to go to the other side of Screech. Oh, okay. Let me try to get, oh, here we go. Maybe a little bit better. Maybe a little bit better. Okay. Roger Lyle, report to the zone. Hey, John. Folks, here we are at the Daytona 200 Monument. A friend of mine, Roger Lyle, has been a longtime friend, and this year he has chosen to bring one of the sport, a motorcycle missionary, and he is honoring John Orich with a plaque here today. Roger, welcome.
Thank you, Richard. Honored to be here at the Daytona 200. Okay. Cutting it off. It's my honor to reach down here and put him into the 200 monument. And we've known each other for about 40 years, along with Richard as well. We go way back. And this is always a magical place for me to come down and visit all my friends here at the Daytona 200 Monument. Great memories made, and this will be here forever. So buy a brick, buy a plaque, or whatever, so that you can be part of it. Check, we're all family here, and this is a great day. Do John? All right. Right now, I'd like to introduce my good friend John Ulrich, that we have this beautiful plaque here for.
totally unexpected.
Just hold the antenna. John. Wait. John Orich. Yes, there. Maybe the antenna will work now. There we go, John. We have reception.
Okay. Honor. Have to fund actually, but I'm real proud of the work that we've been able to do with the road racing and action fund, buying the soft barriers and the airplanes for both road racing and dirt track. We raised $20 million to do that. It's a charity. It's a nonprofit that's totally volunteer run. Nobody's getting paid to do it. Take the money, we buy air fence, deploy air fence, fix air fence, etc. And assign fleets of air fence to racing organizations to help keep drivers safe. So it's a really cool thing, and I appreciate Roger just hooking me up with this plaque. Really love motorcycle racing. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, John Orich. John, you have been one of my so many years. You've done so much for motorcycling. Contributing to every major motorsport magazine, editing, carrying the flag, and you have done so much for motorcycling. What drives you, John?
I don't know. I like it. I found something I like and I'm reasonably good at, and I kept doing it. And I've got a race team. I got a magazine. I got a kid who came up. I've got a three in the Daytona 200 here, who at 6 years ago became considered for in the race. Maybe we can actually win that too.
All right, John Orich, everybody. We encourage you to contribute to the Road Racing World Air Fence Fund. You can find more information, and if you don't get Road Racing World, you don't get it. Go online, roadracingworld.com. Thank you, John. Thank you so much. Thanks, John. Okay, now let's head to the other side of the ocean. Wow, Dick put something together here that's hard for us old people to negotiate. A long way. Yeah, this thing has grown so much since we first saw the concept drawings and the architectural design thought pattern about what they might want to make this place look like. And right now, we are going to honor Mr. Bruce Rossmeyer, who, of course, was the start a lot of the motorcycle celebration. Oh, it's the ROSSMEYER girls. Well, welcome to the Daytona Monument.
Well, thank you for having us.
What time did you first get on the bus? Oh, we need it.
I would say definitely around a year ago. I found out my name again on but it does all the things that my motorcycle does.
You have a finger on the wrong side. Well, yeah, Bruce Rossmeyer did lots of the Daytona years ago.
Yes, we're so fortunate to have such an in my backyard, and that's such a great support too. And this time here, celebrating the life with all of you,
Well, thanks for coming by, sticking around, and we're going to have a look. You're a busy girl. What are you, as far as parts or?
I kind of take all of it for all of you.
Oh, worker bees.
We're happy to be here. This is really a great honor.
flying our
Don't call him Arthur.
Arthur Cohen, Executive Director. Cindy, welcome to Monument.
It's great to be here. We were so excited to be invited to be a part of this. It's such a natural fit for AHRMA with our sport racing to be a part of this. And as you walk around, you see so many of these racers that participated in AHRMA, even if they were previously modern road racers. It's fantastic to see. And I love the fact that we are directly across from Bobby Clark's class. It's very special to us.
Nobby Clark was quite a special individual. We will talk a little bit later on about that.
Can I go ahead and mention? Sure. We are going to be doing on Memorial Day weekend an event in Topeka, Kansas. It's called the AHRMA Classic Memorial Festival in the Heartland. We will be entertaining our spectators with all of our disciplines and the first ever vintage drag race from AHRMA.
Oh, wow. Well, you had to cover a lot of ground. You had to bring in some new people. And Arthur Cohen, you come on as race director. And I raced against you on superbikes. What are you still playing motorcycles?
Oh yeah, I'm an incurable motorcycle junkie, make no mistake.
Wanted to be there, and we had racing families involved with racing, and unfortunately one of our racing communities, the not in Tulsa, is no longer able to one of the sport palace of racing because unfortunately he is not with us. Lucy, I'm hurting.
My dad's memory is when he won Daytona, and on the way down he said, "Mom, I'm gonna win." I said, "You don't have a chance of winning. John Long is gonna win." He said, "No, Mom, I'm gonna win." I said, "Well, my goodness, and letters if you win." Damn if he didn't win.
There goes the budget for the Yamaha show.
That's right.
Well, it is such great memories remembering the times we had.
We did have a lot of good times. That was just one thing we had to do every year. That's why when we moved to Oklahoma, it was only having far to the races when we would go to Loudon or Daytona. Coming from California, we're just too far to drive.
I remember the whole McDonald family being there at the racetrack and being part of the race scene for so many years. Championships, you were always there mothering everybody.
Oh, I love cooking for them.
Well, everybody today here recognizing and remembering Bill McDonald, and we miss him. Folks, the McDonald folks have been a serious part of motorcycling for so many years. Norm McDonald, of course, if you've ever heard of K&N filters, the N on K&N is Norm McDonald, and he's right here with us today. He's one of the treasures of motorsport racing, whether you're in the motorcycle racing or car racing or anything. So every time you see a K&N filter, you remember Norm McDonald, and you'll always remember Bill. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, folks. Well, we're talking about a trip through victory history over here as we look around now. And Sam, come here, Sam.
I didn't really.
Yeah, I said,
You are. Thank you.
your mother said
All
you were
right,
talking.
Sam McDonald, 250 rider, par excellence. Got to kind of go through the mic a little bit, but it must have been hard chasing the road over the years.
Well, it's hard chasing his reputation. I'll tell you, whenever I, first got around AMA racing, I'd hear a lot of people say, "Oh, are you a McDonald?" And I'd sometimes reluctantly say, "Well, yeah." And it would either be, "Oh, I know your dad," or "Your fucking brother." One or the other.
The mic went out.
Everybody that was around then knew Bill. Everybody has a story about him. We can go on all day long, but he will be missed. Thank you, Roger.
Folks, it's just a weird time when you have someone take it from you and you do everything. Right now, we'd like to move on to the Lyman plan. And let me tell you, a couple of years ago, Al Lyman came around here with a bunch of guys thinking that they might be able to win this Daytona 200. Come over here. We're going to try to get a little bit closer to the plaques so you can see them while we talk. You came up with a herd of brothers. Did you guys try to kill yourself the whole time?
Each other for sure at times, but we all came up through the flat track ranks and really didn't have initial aspirations to go road racing. We kind of fell into it, and now all three of us are racing, and it's pretty cool to have a plaque for us three brothers, as well as the win from 2 years ago, and my grandparents, HARV and MILLI ROUSSEAU. So, my grandparents were huge in the motorcycle community, and my parents brought me down here every year, I think, since I was born for Bike Week, so this is pretty standard for us to be here.
Well, it's wonderful to have you, and it's wonderful to see a Daytona 200 winner here at the monument. What did it feel like after you just rolled across start finish and you knew you had won the Daytona 200?
I mean, it felt amazing. It was something that I've dreamed about for a very long time, and to get it done and kind of the way we did it was awesome. So we're back here to try to defend it. We didn't get to run last year, so we still got the #1 plate. So we're going to try to get another Rolex this weekend.
Oh boy! Whoa! Another Rolex. Why, you going to give one away or wear one on each arm?
I got one for my wife coming, hopefully.
Oh, girls love big watches.
Yes.
Make sure we let people know he's going to be signing autographs.
Okay, we'll be signing autographs over on the other side here in just a few minutes, but Grandma and Grandpa owned a motorcycle shop. What was it like being a rugrat in the motorcycle shop?
Well, yeah, my grandfather, HARV ROUSSEAU, started a dealership in 1962 up in New York, so, our house was right behind the dealership, so school bus picked me up and dropped me off at a Harley-Davidson dealership every day when I was growing up, and that's a huge blessing to grow up around motorcycles like that. My grandmother Millie was state director of the Motor Maids. It really runs deep in our family, so it feels good to be able to kind of carry on that tradition of racing motorcycles and being around the motorcycle community.
Wonderful. Well, God will be out there watching qualifying coming up just a little bit later on. And congratulations to you and your brother. You know, usually a winner has to wait for a couple of years to get it to come around, but you guys couldn't wait.
Yeah, I guess it kind of came around pretty quick, and you know, right below my hero, inspiration, Nicky Hayden. So pretty special for me to see this here, and hopefully we can add a few more.
Good time to get on the wall, boy. Well, great having you here today. Thanks to you and all the Wyman fans.
Thanks, Rich.
Kyle Wyman will be signing autographs over on the other side of our stage here very, very shortly. And now we'd like to move to the Okay. Okay, we're going to be talking to the Ty holder there, our team of Pitt.
We're looking for, no, here she is, right behind you. There you are. We're doing, this is her father-in-law, this is her son, and this is Tina, and she's going to try to speak a little bit after you talk to her.
Well, motorcycle enthusiasts, this is sort of the spiritual home of racing here in Daytona, and we have a couple of plaques which are being presented to represent the Bowler and Pitt family. Now these plaques I apologize for technical difficulties. These plaques, George Pitt, of course, they called him Pops, and he was restoring old Indians, and he really, really loved being around motorcycles and all the good times that you have on a motorcycle. And of course, Ty Warren, just taken from his way too soon. And again, it's just so hard for us to actually remember people and just try to keep them in a good life. So right now, I think it's mom will like to go with it.
Stay really close to that point. You're good right there.
everybody shut their mouth.
Well, hey, it is our favorite baseball team. Thanks so much for being here. And we want to Okay,
Rob.
Rob Nations. You want to Rob Nations?
Rob's coming. Nation.
Rob Nations, of course. What a good goal.
Mostly it's trail riding.
Yeah, you still had the fear.
I have never lost it. Always had it. Worse and worse. But better and better.
That's been better and better. Well, thank you so much.
But that was the last, factory teams had those.
Right, and again, we encourage anyone to support the monument. You can go online at Daytona200monument.com. Now, Ernie Sizemore is
It's here somewhere. Okay.
right,
Ernie.
Columbus champion in the F-135, also embraced the US CLA, and
I'd like to say something.
Amy. So, okay, well, anyway, we'll be honoring Mr. Sizemore in just a couple of minutes.
Do you want to say anything?
Ernie,
Yes.
you made it to the wall.
I did. How about that?
Unbelievable. Now, you're a big guy for a 125.
Good boy. Good boy.
You raced USCRA as well.
That's where I started in 2013. I had a great season, got my license with Templin, and when the Oktoberfest come on in Daytona, I talked with Cindy and I talked with Tony, and they got me down here so I could race my first Daytona, and it was unreal, really enjoyable. I've been back ever since.
All right, well, it's so good to have you in the monument. Thank you so much.
It's so great to have to be on here and see all these people. Some of the Eddie Fisher, look at poor Eddie, he's a what a guy. I got to race with Eddie Fisher. That's one of the highlights of my life. This definitely is a real grand deal.
All right, Ernie, thank you so much for being here, folks.
Thank you.
We're going to wander around and have a word with some more of our folks. Welcome back to the monument. It's so good to see you.
Good to be here again.
Good to see you. I know the feeling. Your first race was in 1948, right?
47.
47. The year I was born.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, you were still hauling the mail back then, and you keep racing and coming to the races and pulling some fast kids. Your kid won the 250 in the National up in Loudon one year. I was there.
You were.
I was a silly novice.
I didn't know you were that old.
Well, buddy.
Anyway, evidently, Gary was probably the only guy that ever won the 250 on Saturday and a 100-mile national on Sunday. You're a nice person. And he was, and we'll tell him about that was 750 class, right? But the 350 alcohol has done some pretty good winning in that, like John Empty won the big race down here on the street. But that race, the Tony was super quite that size.
I call it an asphalt TT.
Well, anyway, so Gary,
Oh, it is so good to have you here. And your video, Fast Ed Fisher, that was up at the Montreal Film Fest. What a show that was.
thank you. Of course, any guy here that signed up for the 100 or 200-mile race, 48. Phil France has a meeting Friday night. Everyone across from the big race.
So you want to get everybody who was here in 48 to come up and we're going to have a drawing, right? All right. Yeah, so you're going to win again, Ed.
Well, I know I'm going to win, but I'm going to be around. I'm going to win. If you don't enter, you can't win, right? In June, I'm going to be 96, so it seems like you be back here next year, and we'll bring you another big celebration like this one here today, okay? Ed Fisher, everybody, one of my road race heroes, here on the beach yet again. Thank you so much, Ed. Well, I'm going to grab a drink of water and look for my co-producer, Mr. Bob Coy, and wander through the crowd. Hey, Paul Schwimmer! Look at that, Paul Schwimmer. Level Thin Construction, sponsor of the World Bank Don Ashby. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you. I'm glad you're healthy in here, that's for sure. Yeah, John's last race, 37th start.
His last race is going to retire.
He's got a Class 200. I don't know. He might race in that CCS stuff. Last Daytona 200, 37th start.
37 for number 37.
That's it. That's it. Great to see you.
Same crew, everything's ready to go.
Yeah, we're all ready to go. He's got a fast machine. He just has to get out there and ride around.
All right, we'll feed him some gunpowder and natives, okay?
That's it.
Paul Schwimmer, right here at Daytona Beach. Hey, Doc Batsler, come here, Doc. Hello, buddy. Welcome to the monument, Doc. It's good to see you.
What an event. I just can't believe it, but get Dr. Dick Berger instead of being out here.
Okay. Oh, Dick Berggren. Where you at, boy? Dick Berggren.
Thank you so much. I'll see you. I gotta head back.
Here is one of my announcing heroes, Dick Berggren. If you've ever watched AMA Wide World of Sports or any of the other televised things along with Chris O'Connor, Mackie Davis, Spain, and this guy, welcome aboard.
Is there anybody here you don't know? Any single individual in this whole group that you don't know?
I know their faces. Names are getting hard now.
Well, that's what happens after you pass 30, you know.
You're the director of the Northeast Motorsport Museum up there in New Hampshire. That place is catching fire. It's growing.
Well, it is growing. We had a tough year in 2020, but all museums did. We were closed for 3.5 months. But we've gotten through it, and we're going to have a good year in 2021. Come see us. We're open every Saturday. All year long. Once the weather gets decent, we're open Saturdays and Sundays.
You're going to be a big part of the Laconia Bike Week up there. You got a gypsy tour it's going to be based out of and supporting the activities there at the museum. And you ride yourself. You put a lot of time on a motorcycle.
Yeah, don't tell anybody, but I didn't know about the rules here, so I'm parked on the boardwalk where you're not supposed to be. But, yeah, I rode in this morning, and why not? It's a great day. Great day.
A great day indeed. Dick Berggren, one of my heroes, buddy.
Well, thank you. Here's one of my heroes right beside both of us. That's Bob Coy, who has done so much for vintage motorcycle racing, and so the people that raced in years gone by are not forgotten. He's my hero right there, Bob Coy.
I'll jump in a minute, but again, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Dick Berggren, of course, Wide World of Sports, and all of the major, excuse me, buddy. I'll talk to you in a minute. Come here. Right now, I want to talk to this guy. I want to talk to this guy. Now, we were just talking to Dick Berggren, the actual director of the New England Motorsports Museum up there, and on the board for that museum is one Bob Coy, and some of your motorcycles are actually on display up there at the museum, and you're on the board too.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Do you have to be on the board to get a motorcycle displayed?
Absolutely not. No, we're always looking for motorcycles to put on display. We like to have the motorcycle on loan for at least a year so that, a lot of people can look at it.
Well, now you have a long history of being involved with motorsports. I myself have known you for over half a century and raced against you and with you, and it's been a joy. And you would sneak off from your art job to come to the races, and you used your art job to create some incredible posters and stuff, and still managed to go racing.
It was pretty crazy. Actually, probably one of the funniest times is I was coming to race the Superbike race here at Daytona, and you had to sign in on Tuesday, and then the race was on Friday. So I flew out of Massachusetts on Monday night, signed in on Tuesday, flew back up to Massachusetts, taught school for Wednesday and Thursday, flew out Thursday night to come down here to race. You just had to do that type of stuff.
Now, that's got to want to be there. Now, I want to tell you another funny story, that a Bob Coy story. Back in 1974, Yamaha introduced this fearsome four-cylinder Yamaha that started eating every tire that Goodyear could throw at it. They kept making them harder and harder and harder. And finally, I think they made a tire in 1977 that was made out of wood. It actually felt like it because it was so hard. And if you went out on a big 750, it took you a lap and a half or 2 laps to even get the thing warm. We didn't have tire warmers back then, by the way, y'all. So it happened one time up at Pocono. And Bob Coy had looked over the new rules for Formula 750, and it didn't mention anything about the Norton Manx being outlawed anymore. So he whipped out his Norton Manx and decided he would qualify it for the Formula 750 race. Okay, so out in practice early in the morning, Pocono, he gets out on the track and he's whipping around. He gets 2-3 laps in on his Norton, and he is really going. And just as he comes down the front straightaway, Kenny Roberts and Skip Axlin come out of the pits on their Yamahas with these rock-hard tires on them. And so they are tippy-toeing through the infield. And just as they get to the sweeping left-hander before they go hard right, Bob Coy caught him. And they're pussyfooting down on the inside, and Coy blasts them around the outside, blows by both of them, lands in front of them, and takes off. About a lap later.
So that was really funny. I started laughing so hard inside my helmet, I lost my concentration, so I had to come into the pits. But I could stay with the TZ 750s on the infield, but once you got onto the banking, they just disappeared. So I did the timing, and I knew that Roberts was going to lap me at the beginning of lap 6. So just at the beginning of lap 6, Roberts went by, and I just pulled into the pits because I knew the freight train was coming after that.
Oh, Lord. There's an incredible Mary Grothy photo of Bob Coy and Roberts. And Roberts is in, like, the thinker pose. You've seen the statue, the thinker. Well, Roberts is in that thinker pose, staring down at this Norton Manx with Bob Coy, like, beaming beside him. What do you think he was thinking, Bob?
I think he was thinking, where did that thing come from and how did it get by me?
That's just one of the stories. But, Bob Coy, you've done so much for vintage racing. Right after that, 1977, you actually started USCRA.
That's correct. We did the first vintage races in North America at Bridgehampton in conjunction with an AHRMA event. And we actually had a Magola in that first race. And if you know a Magola has the engine in the front wheel, and it's a radial. And that was really a trip. So after that, I started the USCRA, and then AHRMA got started after that with Rob Iannucci. And, we've just kind of, survived now for the last, 43, 44 years.
It's hard to remember that far back, Bob.
Well, Richard and I go back to the mid-'60s racing in North Carolina together, and we just always had a great time at the races all those years.
Yeah, you accused me of cutting the course. I did. I didn't think anybody saw me. Anyway, it's so great to be here with you. Now you have taken on the mantle of volunteering your services. You do incredible artwork. You actually made the Kyle Wyman stand-up poster that is beautiful, representing today's event, and so many other incredible works of art. The Bobby Hill, Dick Clarence for the Daytona Champions posters on my wall, signed by the both of them and you. And that's one of my treasures.
Well, it's pretty amazing, this monument here. I had Dick and a lot of the old timers up to the old Laconia track back in, I guess, late 90s. We ran that track up until a couple years into the 2000s. And so I got to meet these guys, and Dick was just absolutely amazing. And his inspiration to do this monument down here just was spectacular. And I think that, it's really important to keep the history of the motorcycle racing alive. And he was from an earlier era, and, I enjoyed the racing, the road racing in the 70s and 80s and into the early 90s, and we're trying to keep all of this stuff alive with the vintage stuff.
Well, you've done an incredible job of it, and we really appreciate the efforts of all our organizations, of course, USCRA, AHRMA, and it is just something that continues to give people with these old toys a chance to play with them.
Absolutely. It's really great to see these old machines out on the track, and listen to them and smell them, and it's just really great. And what's really interesting is, I'm starting to age out, Richard's starting to age out. We really need to get the younger generation involved to keep all this stuff alive.
Absolutely. We got to grow some kids. Where are our race kids? But anyway, it is wonderful. Bob Coy, thank you for so much that you do for not only here, but all around the United States with your events, your Moto Giro, and your vintage races up in New Hampshire. You're a big part of the Laconia event. Are we going back to the hill climb at Weirs Beach again?
We're going to have the hill climb in Weirs Beach again on Tuesday of Motorcycle Week up there. It's really crazy because it's on the public road right out of the Weirs.
This is the first time.
Then the Motorcycle Week Association came to me and asked me if I'd like to reenact that. It's now a paved hill, and so it's just been really outstanding. We make a lot of noise. We don't have to have mufflers, and so it's the sights and sounds of the old machines pre-1968. It's pretty spectacular.
Indeed, indeed. I'll be there. And again, as we work our way through, we'll be talking to some of our other folks here. We would like to also move over just a little bit toward where the Nobby Clark plaque is. Now, Nobby Clark, of course, was one of the heroes of mine for many, many years, and he was a big part of vintage racing for many of those years. And as we look back on the history of Nobby Clark, I'd like to ask Alec McLean, you were a big fan of Nobby as well, and he actually worked on your bike.
He did. I got to meet him in New York City 25 years ago already, and we became friends immediately. And then I was able to bring him to the tracks, the races at AHRMA, and he was signing more autographs than working on my bike sometimes, but that's what I wanted him to be there for.
Just the ambiance of his personality. He was such a charismatic guy.
You have a little problem with your bike, and he's completely zen.
I remember seeing him work on Ago's bike here in 1974. He and Trevor were working on Kenny's bikes throughout the big years. Just an incredible list of champions, 17 or 18 world championships that he put together for those riders.
Yeah, it's amazing. And when I think that I was friends with him, it just sort of boggles my mind. I felt like I'm part of that history. So it's a very exhilarating feeling, and I miss Nobby tremendously.
Absolutely. Well, you have a pretty good history of your own. You have a number of championships in a number of different categories on the Bob McEver machines.
Yes, I'm still very lucky to ride the Norton Manxes and pre-40 Classic 60s, Class C foot, etc., and even a Honda once in a while. So I'm on top of my game, and I'm Classic 350 GP. I have good races with Dave Roper. And it's where we were like a GP racing.
David Roper, that's another of my heroes.
Yeah, we banged fairings around corners, and he's a few years older than I am, and but we're hitting the 70 number. And it's amazing how hard we still ride.
Well, buddy, now not only with your racing, but you got your hands full being part of orchestrating and administrating. What's it like being tied to the boss?
I'm in the background a little bit, but it's great fun to watch Cindy, my wife, participate in this. And every day she works so hard and many hours and always has a smile on her face. And everybody on the phone is laughing, and she helps them out and gets their credentials done and whatever. So yeah, I've never thought I'd be a part of the organization, but I am in the dark, in the
As race director, you're like the sheriff now. You're like the new Will Harding, right?
No, I'm not the race director. I am behind the scenes chairman of the board of trustees.
Oh, pulling the strings.
Yes, sir. So, like it or not, I'm the CEO of AHRMA.
Oh, what does that pay?
A lot of hard work and a lot of smiles.
Oh, yeah, a lot of effort is what that pays. I know what you mean. Buddy, have a great season, and thanks for being here, and I'll see you out at the 200. You are the oldest man ever to race in the 200. You knew that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I know that. Well, yeah, unfortunately, I think everybody knows that.
All right, buddy. Well, anyway, thanks for being here. All right, hey, look. Oh, let's talk to somebody who was important in putting this thing to the Mark Bissett.
Yes.
Mark, look what you drew up.
I know. It's been a real honor and a pleasure to be involved with Dick and Bev. Started with them in 2001, and it's really amazing how it's come together.
Well, when Dick Clamford first got in touch with you, did you think he was some kind of crazy motorcycle guy?
Yes, I did. He actually said, he goes, I'm going to get a backhoe and set a monument on the beach. And I said, I don't think we can do that. I think we're going to need drawings and so forth. And he, through the process with the city, was able to get them to agree to giving us a spot. We had to move the monument for the band shell, which is right behind me. And it was a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed it and became part of their family.
Well, thank you for your contribution. Christy, how long have you known this guy?
Time. Mom kind of kept him sheltered, though, when she was around, because him and his partner, Lou, she just loved dearly. So, it was I was kind of out of the way there then. I missed the start of the conversation. Did you tell about the backhoe?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have a backhoe on the beach. Hey, will we use it as a thrill ride for somebody? No, did you envision all of the columns and everything? Who designed the actual center monument?
Well, Dick had done the original monument, and he came to me with a colored rendering, and then we did the architectural detailing, and then we started. It just kind of grew from there. The city made us. We had to, include the landscaping and all the brick pavers. We had to bring a drawing to them showing them exactly what we were doing. It was quite a feat. But the interesting thing was the railing. Dick had put a white PVC fence up, and of course we had to change that because the skateboarders were riding up on the monument. But anyhow, the stainless steel looks like it's holding up.
Well, I tell you, it is a marvelous, marvelous thing you have imagined. And we thank you so much. And I know Dick and Beverly are looking down saying, keep it up, y'all. So thank you again.
Well, we're here to support them as long as I'm alive.
That could be said for a lot of us.
That's
again.
fine.
We got another special guest.
Yep.
Scott Russell's around the corner.
Scott Russell. Hey, can I get him over here? I don't want him Scott Russell. I'll go over here and lasso him. Scott Russell. Scott. Buonasera. Mr. Daytona, y'all, Scott Russell. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Richard. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm alive and kicking. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be back here, and this is a special place right here as we stand. So we heard there was something going on, and we rushed out here to see if we could catch the end of it, and glad we did.
Well, I'm so glad to see you, buddy. You know, so many of the memories go back of your wins at Daytona, and I was just playing Pat Gonzalez the tape of you where you passed 2 world champions going into turn 3 and then promptly parked it in front of them and got up and beat them anyway.
Yeah. As I was sliding across the road, I was wondering what the hell I was doing. But luckily, I was able to get help from the corner workers that day and make some history after that Kawasaki started up.
You didn't need no pace car, dude.
Nah, you know, some people were crying about that, but we know the real story.
You betcha, you betcha. Well, you ride a bunch and you just got married. How's married life?
It's pretty good. I had been practicing for about 8 years with her, living together, so we knew what we were getting into, and it's a good thing. Feel good about it. Just cycling a lot, feel great physically. And then, you know, I get to ride my motorcycle every bike week and come down here and be a fan, and that's what I am now. So.
Oh, buddy, I want to have you out at the 200, out at the racetrack and stuff, but it's just so amazing to have actually been there and watched you progress from the old Suzuki Cup days and Kawasaki, and you ride anything with wheels on it.
I know. They come through in a good time, didn't we? You know, when we were making good money and the series was competitive. A lot of manufacturers were involved. Definitely a lot's changed since then. But I'm just look back and go, man, we came through at the right time. You know, when you look at all the history, I don't think there was a better time than the 90s down here. And but, you know, it's makes me proud to be that guy they call Mr. Daytona.
It makes us proud to have you down here today, Mr. Daytona. Thanks so much for being here.
Good to talk to y'all. Y'all have a great weekend.
Scott Russell, everybody. Wow, thanks, buddy. Oh, Scott. Whoa. We got to get a big magic marker. Hey, folks, we're going to have a personally messaged print. These were the prints of the original. Scott, I'm going to get you to do something for me here. We're going to try to sell one of these for the monument. Now, these are the prints that we made.
Right.
Okay, now we're going to offer the first person with $100 a poster, a print that's signed by Scott Russell, Dick Clamford, and the artist Lee Bivens, and he will put a special message on there, the first $100. There it is. All right. There. Okay, now we need to get a good little place where you can. I need to have him write this.
Let me move this stuff out of the way for you, okay?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Here you go, Scott, right here, buddy. We'll do it right here. Okay, we got one of them. Let's try again. Anybody else want a personal message? One of two, I might add. These prints were donated by Lee Bivens to the monument to support the monument. The money goes straight into the preservation fund here at the monument, and they were going to sell for $100, and we still got a few of them, and we'd like to generate some cash for the monument. Thanks, Scott. All right, here's another gentleman. Oh, you're going to have to chase him with the marker. Scott Russell, right there.
No, he's got the marker.
Oh, you got the marker? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Leave your stamp, okay? Can you throw one down there? Here, I'm going to make you do this for this. Give me one of these.
Mr. Russell.
Where's the Sharpie?
No, I want to get one.
Well, who bought it?
The Right. Okay, and this one is this guy right here.
What's your name?
Mike.
We're just mad.
Yeah. Where's Sharpie? Ah, but he is Sharpie. Yep. Thank you.
More? We're going to do it again, or am I going to walk off again?
Right there.
You going to try for another 100?
Keep working.
I'm working.
No, I know you've already signed. All right, buddy. Thank you. All right, we still have some of the prints now. They were originally signed by Scott Russell. Now, no personal message now. We still have these for sale over here. We've got 3 of them left, I think. 2 or 3 of them left. Give the money to this guy or somebody. Thanks, Scott. All right. All right, now where we're going to go. Let's go over and find out what the schedule is. Bob Coy, why we don't have schedule? Oh, well, folks, I think that's going to about wrap it up here. We've got a few minutes, and I'll roam around, and if I find somebody else, we'll be talking to them. But, Bob, it's been a great day here at the monument.
A fabulous day. The weather couldn't be better. The crowd couldn't be better. It's always such a treat to see all these old ex-racers here and everybody socializing and reminiscing, and that's what Dick Clamforth really wanted. That's what the whole monument's about.
Okay, now we've got a breakfast coming up tomorrow morning. Is that going to be at the Eagle again?
Clamforth can tell us what time that's going to be. That's the Over the Hill Gang and breakfast. It's an annual breakfast, and it's really a nice gathering and great food. So.
Great food indeed. Let's try to get Christy to give us the info. I know it's on Ridgewood Avenue, just south of the...
We got these two. It's about the breakfast, so know where to go.
Okay, all right, here.
Remember what time, and I'll be there.
All right.
8:30.
8:30 in the morning. That's when the Over the Hill Gang breakfast is. Christy, come here. This is... All right, Christy, this is a long-standing tradition for the Over the Hill Gang.
It is. We've had it. The Over the Hill Gang started at my parents' farm years ago at a place called Honda Hills in Ohio, and there sure were a lot of the older guys that were there that actually they were like the age of my husband and stuff at the time. They all started coming 30-some years ago, and it was really kind of cool growing up with all that and seeing all those, you know, all those people. Every year they would come and they so many people from Ohio that raced too that didn't have to travel far, but it was just amazing hearing the story. Dot Robinson, and they tell stories and never tell the same story twice. I think my dad did once in a while. He told the same story twice, but I know all my mom always did would look over and go like this and tell him it was time to quit. So I'm going to quit now, but again,
No, you got to tell us the address and what time it starts.
Okay, it's at 5130 Ridgewood. If you just go up to Dunlawton, go over the bridge on 1. It's just about a mile down on your right, and the breakfast starts at 8:30. If you want to hear some good one-on-one stories with a few of the riders and just partake with them, it's a great little breakfast and a great little ordeal to come to. So hopefully we'll see you all for breakfast tomorrow morning at 8:30 at the Eagles on Ridgewood Ave in Port Orange. And I've got, if you need address or something, I got some little flyers here. So.
All right, well, thank you so much, Christy, and thank you for continuing your hard work.
And I, again, just thank Richard and Bob so much for coming and helping and setting up everything, and everyone else. I mean, it's hard to just thank 1 or 2 people because there's so many people involved in it, but everybody's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Christy. All right. Well, we'll put on a little bit of music if I find somebody else. If I find somebody else to talk to, we'll jump back in. But right now, we're going to put a little bit of music while we mellow down easy. So, Bob, we'll get the reggae on cranking, get that steel drum rolled out here, and see if we can crank up Bob Marley one more time. But again, it's been so wonderful, all you folks. I hope you had a good time here today. And again, thanks to the folks who helped us out here with our videography, our American Historical Racing Motorcycles Association videographer, the USCRA, also along with all of the folks who helped us keep this place together. Remember, it's up to us to keep Dick Clamford's dream alive here on the beach at Daytona, where it all began. So again, we've got more Daytona 200 books for sale, and I think there are a couple of prints left. And again, these are numbered. There are only 200 of these prints in the world, and they are representative of a painting by Lee Bivens called From the Beach to the High Banks. It represents Dick Clamford with his signature and Scott Russell with his signature, along with the artist Lee Bivens' signature as well. They're for sale over at the monument tent area. We'll put on a little music and get back to you in a few minutes.